So, hello everyone. In this video I would like to show you the basics of the Polymesh tool in Art of Illusion. So let's open Art of Illusion here. Okay, let's set up this scene real quick. So, the Polymesh tool. This is this tool right here, the pink box. And when you start out with the Polymesh tool, you draw it out just like the cube tool, and it will look just the same. You draw a cube, and it doesn't matter at all how big or how small, because you're going to edit this. And just as a quick note, in between, I apologize for my laptop fan that is blowing right now. I noticed it in my other videos that it was quite annoying, in my opinion, but I really have no way around it, so I apologize. Anyway, the Polymesh tool. When you draw out the cube, it appears here in the object hierarchy as Polymesh 1, and you can click edit. Now, what you are probably going to see is again 4 different views here, and I turned it off in the Polymesh editor because I like just one big model to work on, and I can just move around it like this. I don't need 4 different views like in the scene. In the scene view it is quite handy, but I don't like it in Polymesh editor, so I'm gonna show you how to turn it off. Yeah, here it says 4 views. If you click that, it will look like this, and if you want one view, you click on one view. So, I am now going over some of the basics now. And because there's a lot that goes with the Polymesh tool, I'll probably make a bunch of tutorials about this. And this first tutorial I'm just going to cover the basics of it. So the Polymesh tool is really the most powerful tool in Art of Illusion. So basically I only use this tool, and like the Boolean modeling tool, it's very nice and stuff, but you can't even get near with what you can do with the Polymesh tool. Anyway, so here in the left corner you see 3 buttons. This is the first one selected is the Vertex mode, and this one is the Edge mode and the Face mode. I'm going to show you. In the Vertex mode you select the different points that make up the model. In Edge mode you select the edges, like here you have this edge selected. Let me just real quick make them a bit bigger so you can see it better. How do I do that? No. I'll probably edit this out. Should be here somewhere. Display. Handle size, I'm going to increase that a bit, so when you, there you go, you can see the vertices a lot better this way. Alright, and when you see me going through Art of Illusion, you'll probably notice that I'm switching between these modes all of the time, and you can't really see it because I'm using shortkeys, and that is very a very good thing to know them. To go to the vertex mode, you press V for vertex. To go to edge mode, you can press E. Yep, this is the edge mode. And for face mode, I haven't showed you that, but to go into face mode, you press F. And in face mode, you can get all the faces of the model, and you can edit those. Alright. I'm going to show you now the things that I use most in the Polymesh editor, which is the bevel tool, which is this icon here. And the shortcut for this is B, and I'm using that a lot. So if you're watching future videos, just know that I'm using hotkeys and switching between these two tools. To go back to the move tool, or the whatever tool this is a combined move, rotate, scale tool. And about this tool, by the way, the same applies as in the scene view. You can scale it with shift with equal dimensions, you can scale it along one axis, you can translate along one axis or rotate, whatever. And to go to bevel mode, you press B. So what I'm doing here now is, when you are in bevel mode, most of the time you are also in the face mode, so you are almost always beveling in faces, with faces. And what you do, you have this icon here, and you drag it, and dragging it upward creates new faces, extending outward, and dragging it down creates an inward face, and dragging it sideways, like this way, makes the area bigger or smaller. And what I often do is press shift, so you can only do it in one direction. So this is purely extending upward, like this, or purely extending inward and then extending downward, or whatever. You can get the idea that you can do pretty cool stuff with this. So yeah, so what if you wanted to extend this, but only half of this, like, or maybe one quarter? But what you could do is select the face and click right mouse button and go to Subdivide Faces, and there you see that it has subdivided the face into 4 quarters, and you can bevel this one out. An alternative way of doing that, because subdividing faces won't always give you the thing that you want. Let's go to another face here, this one for example. What I sometimes like to do is go to the edge mode, I press the E, and select, by holding shift you can select multiple, and by selecting these two, I want to bevel out this small part here, so not the whole face, just this part. So I have to divide this face by making an edge here. And how I'm going to do that is divide these edges by 2. So you go to the right mouse button and go to divide, and divide by 2. So this cuts the edges up into 2 parts, and it creates 2 vertices. Now there's still no edge here, so what you do is you are now in vertex mode, you select the 2 edges, or I meant to say the 2 vertices, go to vertex and connect. You can also use Command C, which is something I do a lot, and voila, here's your edge. And you can press spacebar to go to the move tool and move it like here, and voila, you can just bevel this one out. What you also see here is that when I have an edge selected and I go to face mode, that it selects the two faces here. That's because I have in the preferences, in edit, I have tolerant selection mode selected because I kind of like that. For instance, because when you're selecting edges, sometimes it's kind of hard to just click right on the edge. So what I do is you can drag it out and then it selects, and it won't do that without tolerant selection mode. Sometimes you really want to turn it off because it's selecting too much sometimes, so you have to use it cleverly. Alright, I'm at 11 minutes already, so I guess I'm going to cover the rest in another tutorial. As you can see, there's a lot to it. I'm going to cover most of these tools here. And I think in the next tutorial we'll be going to be building something, and I'm going to show you how. Yes, so I hope this was useful, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.